Good morning, friends. Rohit again from Top Stock Research, presenting you TSR Alerts, which is Top Stock Research Alerts. And before we start, would thank you all to take time off on our weekend to attend this session. This session is going to be much different than the rest of the sessions we have attended so far, because we'll attempt to do some sort of a mock run in this one to see how the alerts are there. Because alerts, without actually getting a feel of it, may not give you a very good idea, right? So that's why we are doing it, and we prefer that, if possible, continue to be in the session, because if you miss some parts of the session, it could become a little more complex at the later part of the time. Right? So let's begin. Why do we need alerts? We want to be top of the market. What it means is, as soon as an event has happened, we want to get some sort of notification, and according to that, we can do further analysis or can take a call. Okay, so TSR alerts. What you can add is very simple alert. The alert can be like the price crossing above a certain level. For example, if you want to get an alert whenever Nifty crosses that 1 year high of 18.5, which I hope it does in sooner than later. Right? So that would be a simple alert where Nifty is crossing above 18,500 or whatever that highest level was. Or it could be another alert which is crossing below 14.8, which is like 20% retracement from the high, or signaling bear market, which none of us wishes it happens. But this is what a simple alert could do. Okay. Complex alerts. Let's say you want to get an alert where stock of your choice, or basically stock basket of your choice, has multiple criteria. It could have a combination of technicals, pricing, fundamentals, and so on and so forth. It could be a simple strategy wherein you want all the stocks of your stock basket or your watch list having a certain technical levels. For example, ADX above 20 or check-in money flow above 0, and so on and so forth, right? So that would make a complex strategy alert, and this is where the maximum advantage of the system you can reap. Right? The alerts are near real time. So for those guys who have attended our previous sessions, they would know that we have a lot of ticks, 5-minute ticks, 10-minute ticks, and so on and so forth. So what we get is, we get snapshot data from exchange, which is near real time, and we process, and generally it takes single-digit seconds, which means generally less than 10 seconds for us to process all the events, and the alert is notified. What it means is, basically, if a certain event has happened at 9:30, you will probably get alert in less than 10 seconds, is majority of the case. Some of the things which could be delaying the stuff, one of them could be network bandwidth. The number 2 is email. We are dependent on external providers. Of course, we use the best in the industry, which is by Amazon. But it also depends on your carrier. It could be a free carrier like a Gmail or Yahoo. So that depends on that. And the third mode is SMS, which again depends on the carrier and coverage near you. Right? You get a web pop-up. What web pop-up is, we'll have a quick demonstration. If everything goes as per plan, we are planning to have that live session. Continuous monitoring, why it is crossed out is because you don't need to continuous monitor. It is more like a push rather than you continuously doing screen refresh and so on and so forth, right? So you don't have to continuously monitor. The alert will be thrown to you. Alert comes with a buzzer. What it means is, basically, as soon as alert is triggered, you can get a notification. When it comes to SMS, obviously it depends on your settings. When it comes to web, then you will get a notification, or you'll get a sound. Right? Alert on the go. You don't have to be physically in front of the machine at all times. You can do other activities, whatever hobbies. You can do painting. As soon as alert is there, you can come back here, right? Or you can be on the go, not sitting in front of PC. As soon as the event has happened, you get the notification. Right? Alert history. We maintain alert history for you to come back and refer. However, we do recommend you guys to do some sort of housekeeping. Otherwise, if there are too many alerts, then the page loads much slower than the normal case. Alerts we support on 5 minutes to monthly tick. So basically, we support all the ticks that system supports for alerts. So if you want alert on 15 minutes chart, you'll get alerts on 15 minutes, and so on and so forth. Now, there's another very interesting thing that we have is specific time alert. And now, if a event has happened at a specific time, let's say at 9:30 or 9:20, then only you want alert. Otherwise, alert is not much useful to you. You could be working in another place, and this being a part time, or you want to do a sort of a BTST. You want alert at 3:20. If you get an alert at 3:20, you want to take a call. Otherwise, you don't. If it happens at noon or maybe 2 p.m., it's not much of use to you. So that's what you could do with this alerts. Okay. Now, alert modes I've briefly touched upon. You have web alerts. What web alert is, we'll see that in a short while, right? It comes in form of a pop-up. It comes with a certain sound that you can fine tune. You have email alerts, okay, and SMS alerts. So since email has come here, right, I just wanted to mention to you that the service provider that we use for email, right, is one of the best and also is one of the strictest one. So what it means is if any email which goes out of the system, right, if you mark that as spam, then it becomes very difficult. It becomes, I won't say impossible, but it becomes extremely difficult for us to send an email to that account again from our system, right? The reason is we don't want to send email to anybody who doesn't want it, right? So guys, please be very careful. If you mark one email as spam, right, then there are very high chances that you'll not get any email going forward, right? So be very, very careful when it comes to marking any email. So I know a lot of times the subjects are not there and there are too many things. You mark a lot of things as spam, which we all do, even I do, right? But be very careful before you marking any email as spam. If you do so, then even your password change and other things will have a lot of trouble, right? And we don't want to go with any email provider. We go with the best because the delivery time, I can't guarantee that, but the delivery time is based on our experience and our users' experiences, less than 1 second, where the email is delivered out of our system, right? 1 second is still a much higher period. Generally, it goes into fraction of second, right? A few milliseconds, in fact, right? So we go with the best provider, but it comes with certain issues related to email. So never mark anything as spam. If you do so, you'll not get any emails going forward. SMS alert, we are dependent on external parties. It could be Jio, it could be Airtel, Idea, Vodafone, or I don't know who all parties are involved, right? So this Department of Telecom manages it at a central level, and also MTNL is one of them, right? So there are quite a few ones. So the delivery, what we can tell you is the delivery from our side is good. Whether it reaches to you on time or not, that depends on the carrier. That's number one. Number two on this particular part, right, is basically the emails, the content that we get, we show it to you, right, is basically we try to keep minimal to 160 characters, and every template that we share with you guys has to get validated and verified by Department of Telecom to avoid spams. Before this regulation was there a couple of years back, there were a lot of email spams which was coming in. So Department of Telecom is helping us to helping users rather, right, to avoid spam, and it has to go through a certain process. Now, SMS alerts you'll get only when you have correct number mentioned there. Feel free to add +91 or all the 10 digits. Feel free to add space there. That's not a problem. What we cannot deliver alert is anything which is outside India, right? So alerts will be delivered only when you have a phone registered with one of the Indian telcos. Right? Alert times, you can get intraday alert. That means during the live hours. You can get on daily tick, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, all the way to 2 hours on daily. Specific time alert, I've briefly mentioned. We'll have an example shortly if our mock system works. Is right. End of the day alert. So for part-timers, right, or with somebody who is more like a hobby and doing the profession and other things, you can set an alert only once, or you can have that alert repeated till you disable it. So alert only once is, let's say, you're looking for Nifty crossing above maybe 19,000, but let's be more optimistic, right? You want only once, right? Once it is above 19,000, you don't want it. The second kind of alert is basically a strategy alert, where you have a very powerful strategy, having a combination of certain candlestick patterns, certain price momentum, and technicals. And you want alert every time that particular condition is met, right? So you can say that it is disabled till alert is enabled till you actually go and disable it. Okay, guys, note that the alerts goes every 5 minutes, right? So if you have enabled the alerts, right, you'll be getting a lot of emails if it is email alert, right? Again, my suggestion, a very serious suggestion to you is don't mark that as spam. Go into the system and disable the alert. If you mark that as spam, then you'll not be getting it. We have to go through a really complex process of re-enabling any account, right? Which we want to avoid in all cases, right? So about today's session, right? Now, basically today's session, right, will cover, as I mentioned, today's session will be much different than any sessions that we have had before. It being a Saturday, it gives us opportunity to run certain set of mock to show you how things are really working. So this weekend and perhaps one of the other weekends we'll do, when we do Traders High View, we'll again do on one of the Saturdays where we'll run mock. If this is successful, we'll definitely do the other one also. All right. So the core functionalities of alerts, one is create, right? So let's quickly go and create the alert. How do we create alerts, right? Now, all right. So the alerts are here. You go on, if you hover on the left hand side, this alert icon, click on that. You have various options. I'll quickly go into add stock alert. So this is where you'll say that I want to add alert on Nifty. Alert name, Nifty above 19,000. I want it during market hours anytime, right? This happens. I want it only once, and it is active till 2025 at a pretty a long range, right? I want a web alert. So this is how you'll typically add an alert. Once you add that alert, the alert appears here in the manage alert. Let me, okay. So let's remove this one. Right. So the only alert that we have so far in the system is one alert where Nifty crosses about 19,000. That too, and the alert, the mode of the alert is web alert, right? We will get a pop-up notification. So once you have added the alert, perhaps you may want to fine tune or do something on that. So what you can do is you can go here, edit, right? Change 1900 looks like a little too much optimistic. Let's be a little more realistic, maybe 18,000. And you want to change it to SMS because it's a very important event which you want. So just change it to SMS. And it says that alert name is what you get in SMS, right? So please choose a short name. So the alert message that you'll be getting is Nifty above 19,000. So keep it short so that it comes in your SMS, right? Edit and save. So your alert is saved, right? So your alert, the name is still there, but when you go and edit here, it is 18,000. So let's change the name also, so that it becomes very clear that what we are looking for. So this is how you create an alert and update an alert. Set alert mode. So now if we have done it briefly, but let's do it again. I want to have an email alert. I've gone abroad and my carrier does not have access to, or I cannot get SMS alert. So I change it to web, save it. Right. So this is how you will change the mode of the alert. View history will get there. Set time. Enable disable alerts. So now what happens is you may have done a lot of hard work, right? But certain alerts may not be really useful to you. So if you see the status of this alert is active, if you want to pause it, so just go and mark that as inactive. for you to enable it later, right? So save it. So now, even though alert exists, but it is in pause mode, right? So you can always enable it later. You don't have to create or the entire exercise of creating it again. All right. So that's about the enabling disabling alert. Change sound. So basically, as I mentioned, right, you can have some sort of notification. So how to get the right sound? So what we have here is we have a small fine-tuning device where you can tune the sound. So just go there. What kind of tune you want? Set it. You set it, and then depending on your preference, whether you want a shrill voice or a smooth voice. So you have a lot of option of tuning, fine tuning, and how long this particular alert sound should be. Okay, so you have that option. There were few suggestions before that the alert sound was too shrill or too loud. So we allowed you guys to set it to the way you want. Live session, we'll be covering some live sessions today, as we discussed earlier, and alerts in action, which we'll see in the live session. Right. Now, guys, we have covered some of the, or rather set the preface and added a very simple alert.